Welcome to another edition of the Seat Shop install video series. Today what we're going to be doing is replacing a driver's bottom on a 2002 Ford F150. Chances are if you got a truck or SUV, that driver's bottom on that left hand side where you're sliding in and out, it's going to start to look like this, all cracked, torn up. Now we really need to replace this bottom when the seat starts looking like that. What we do here as the Seat Shop is we allow you just to replace one piece at a time, whether it be the driver's bottom, driver's top, passenger bottom or top, anything in the entire vehicle. We can allow you to replace just one piece and a guaranteed color match, so the bottom will match up with your existing top. I'm going to bring Brian in here right now and he's going to show you the tools necessary that we need to do this install.
Alright, first we start off with a pair of needle nose pliers. Everybody should have a set of needle nose pliers. A regular pair of scissors. You got a pair of hog ring pliers. If you don't have a set of hog ring pliers, the regular needle nose will work too. It's just a little bit more tricky, but it can be done with the needle nose. But this makes life a little easier if you got a set of hog ring pliers. A regular big flathead screwdriver, a Phillips head. We also have a pry tool. This is just another tool that makes life a little easier. You don't absolutely have to have it. You can use the flathead screwdriver for it, but again, it makes it a little easier if you got one in the toolbox there. Next tool we need is a Torx bit. It's a T55. This bit right here is what you'll need to be able to take the seat out of the truck. There's 4 bolts that hold the seat into the frame of the vehicle. What you'll need is a T55 for those to come out. The 2 sockets you're going to need, you got a 13 millimeter and a 10 millimeter socket, a pair of snips, and a regular socket drive right there. And also we'll have a couple hog rings. If the cover that you need requires hog rings, it will be included when the cover is shipped to you. So if you need them, they'll be included. Alright, let's go ahead and tear into this seat here.
Alright, the first step is removing the side plastic panel that houses all the electric controls as well as the back adjustment. We're going to come in here first and get this knob off. I use a flathead screwdriver as well as a pry tool. You can go in here, you can push this plastic panel back so you can see how that holds on there. And it doesn't have a clip or anything, it just pops off, but it can be very hard sometimes to get off. So what I do is come in here 180 degrees apart with a flathead. You can use 2 flatheads as well. Get to the back of the knob and pop it off like that. It's shot across the room because it's held on there very tight, so that's no problem. Matt's going to get a still shot right here of that for you. Alright, now there's 5 screws that require that Phillips head screwdriver. We put a Phillips on a drill. The one you're looking for is right here by the knob. Take this, I'll go ahead and do it here for you. Again, these are all Phillips head. There's going to be one behind that back adjustment. There's going to be 2 under here at the front, toward the front of the seat. And while we're under here, we're also going to disconnect the power controls that go to that side panel right there. Again, a couple flatheads will work. We're going to go ahead and pop that clip off of the seat frame. I use my pry tool here, but again, a flathead screwdriver will work. Now these clips are all quick connect, but it does help to have a second pair of hands because on both sides of this, you're going to need to pop both sides of the clip off.
There's a clip on both sides, so one person can hold one clip open, the other one can get the other one separated while pulling up on it. There we go.
One final step here in removing this plastic piece is the plastic tab at the back. Again, pry tool, flathead screwdriver will work. Go ahead and pop that plastic tab off. Slide it forward. And we got the plastic tab off.
Next step is to go ahead and unbolt the metal frame off the bottom of the seat. There's 4 bolts that hold that on there. I'll show you where those are. First, a quick tip: when you're first taking the seat out of the truck, you want to go ahead and adjust the seat into a particular position. It's going to make it a little easier to get to the 4 bolts on the bottom. So if you adjust the seat so it's about right in the middle, not all the way to the dash, not all the way back, but towards the middle, and raise the seat up as high as it'll go. what raising the seat all the way up does is it gives you some separation between your frame and the bottom of the seat. Makes it a whole lot easier to get to the rear two bolts. Now we're going to go ahead and lay this down. Take those bolts off. There's one other clip that we need to pull off, which is right here. We're going to go ahead and pop it off. All right, now we got that. Just a little easier to get to the connections. So we got that disconnected. Now the only thing holding us back is the 4 bolts. These are going to need a 10mm socket. We'll go around each one, pull those off. Alright, now there's still one connection hooking this on still, which is your seat belt. It's got a sensor cable that goes into the frame that it'll have a quick connect underneath. So you can see this black cable here. Just follow the line through the frame to where it clips. Alright, let's clip it on right here. We need to pry that piece off. Let's see here. Okay, once that's pried off, this will go ahead and feed through the frame here. Alright, now that that's free, we can go ahead and move the frame completely out of the way. Now we're going to be down to be able to get this cover off.
Alright, last 2 things you need to do before you separate the bottom from the top is just disconnect the lumbar control and the 2 bolts on this hinge piece. Again, your Phillips. Feed that through. And make sure this lumbar control is all the way in the down position, like that. And pop that cable off. And these 2 bolts on the hinge piece is just a 13mm. And now in here, on this opposite side of the hinge piece, is going to be a metal post built into the bottom seat frame and a hole that post goes through on the top. Take your big flathead screwdriver and just pry that. There we go. Pry the top off that post.
Show you that. Then we're going to feed the cable to the bottom all the way through. Now we got the seat bottom separate from the top. We can go ahead and start to pull the old leather off, go ahead and recover with the new. With the cover flipped upside down, you can grab your flathead screwdriver. You got 4 clips that hold it on. Most of the 4 is going to be the same. There's always just going to be pretty much a series of clips. It may not always be 4, but it's going to be similar to this. You got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Just take you a flathead screwdriver. It'll help pry these off. A lot of these metal edges in here can be pretty sharp, so be careful with that. Definitely we want to be using the screwdriver instead of your fingers in there. Now once we get the clips pulled off, we're going to go ahead and start pulling the leather off. Just start in a particular corner and start to roll it back. When you're first pulling off, you don't want to pull the whole cover off. You just want to get all the 4 corners rolled up. Because then we're going to address how each cover is attached onto the foam. Because you don't want to pull and rip the attachments off. This particular cover is actually held on with a combination of both hog rings and Velcro. The Velcro here, when you're separating it, you want to make sure you don't just pull the cover. You want to actually just inch it back an inch at a time, because if you were to yank it too quick, too fast, a lot of times you could actually pull the Velcro off of the foam cushion, and that's not a good deal. You want to make sure you keep that attached. So that's pulled back. Now this front strip here is held on with the hog rings, which you're going to go ahead and take a set of your pliers, and you don't have to cut all the way through them. You can if you want to. Usually you can pinch it and twist and roll, and it'll come undone from the bottom. So we're going to pull a couple of these off here. There we go. You also want to come back through with your needle nose pliers and pull all the little ends and bits down through there. Make sure those are all out of there before you put your new cover on. Our covers here at the Seat Shop are identical clones to the original factory cover. In terms of the stitching lines, the patterns, how they fit is identical. So reinstalling the new cover is going to be the exact same process of removing your original cover, just done in reverse. As you can see, how the lines are the same here. And you look on the back side, all the methods of attachment are still the same. You still have the same Velcro rim around just like the factory. You have your hog ring strip to hog ring the front piece on, and you got your 4 clips. Now we're going to go ahead and start installing this on the foam cushion. All right, now we're back with our frame here. And go ahead and put this sucker on. First step you want to do is you want to flip the cover inside out. Okay, now that we've got it inside out, the first place we're going to anchor is we're going to go ahead and hog ring that front strip on there. I'm going to turn this sideways, go ahead and grab my hog ring pliers and some rings. Now in the foam cushion, there's going to be, you'll see how many hog rings each particular cover is going to take. There's going to be 4 on this one. That's going to require 4. You can see in the cushion, you'll see a little wire that's exposed. That's where each hog ring anchors onto. So there's 4 spots here. So it's going to take 4 hog rings to go ahead and anchor that on. All right. Let's see here. All right, go ahead and push it all the way down in the trough. I got my hog ring loaded onto my hog ring pliers. Go and bend it around the frame, the wire that's built in the cushion, and the front clip of the cover so that it holds on to it real tight. Now this part also can be done if you don't have the hog ring pliers. You can use a set on needle nose. I'll go ahead and do the last one. With every cover we ship, we send a little baggie full of the hog rings. I always put plenty more in there than you'll actually need. That way, if you are doing it with hog rings, without the hog ring pliers, and you're using needle nose, sometimes they'll shoot off. So you got plenty of extra ones to work with if a couple of them happen to torpedo across the old garage on you. Let me go ahead and get this kind of started. We're going to try that again. There we go. It works just as good. Just a couple times it may fall off there. You have to reset it a couple times, but they will work. You don't have to buy a set of pliers if you don't want to. Now that we've got the front rim hog ringed on, we need to go ahead and attach the Velcro on real tight. Put my hand on the inside of the cover. I really want to kind of stretch the leather and line up that Velcro so it's going good and straight down. You really want to mash the Velcro on tight to it so you make sure you got a really good connection. Now we get the left side done. We're going to go to the other side, really roll it back to expose it, Get your fingers on the inside, really stretching the cover. Make sure you get a really good tight connection all the way back. Okay, we also got a rim across the back that we need to do. Now these covers can be pulled a lot and manipulated, so they'll have to stretch a lot. You'll have to really tug and pull and get it where it's lining up real straight, and then really push your Velcro down good so you got a good connection. Alright, now that we got it all anchored on, we're going to go ahead and wrap the cover around and go and hook the clips underneath the bottom.